the Generic Geriatric Cyclist. Episode 3, the FTP test. I hate tests. I've always hated tests. After over half a century of being away from any type of school, I still get panic dreams where I'm walking into a classroom for a final exam and I have no knowledge of the subject matter. Sometimes I can't even find the classroom. So this is what I'm up against. Today I'll be doing an FTP test in a form that's relatively short and simple. It's called a ramp test, where you'll actually ramp up your power numbers until you can't hold the power anymore and have to quit. So why do I put myself through this? To ride the bike in a way that's going to make me want to pass out once a month? Well, it's because I need to set up my power zones to do the training that we're talking about in this series. But instead of trying to explain it, why don't we just get down to it? All right. Welcome. We're in Watopia today, and I'll be doing a Zwift ramp test. Now, the ramp test is probably the easiest and shortest way of calculating your functional threshold power, or FTP. We'll start off with a 5-minute warm-up, and then I'll do 1 minute at 100 watts, 1 minute at 120 watts. It'll go up 20 watts per minute until I can't do any more. And once I can't do any more, it will figure on my best minute, my highest 1 minute power. They'll take a proportion of that, I believe it's 75%, and that will give me my FTP. The advantage of this ramp test is that, it doesn't take a lot of time, and the effort, while it can get taxing, it doesn't last very long. So you can do it more frequently. And this is the way I'll measure my progress or lack of progress. So I'm going to be getting on the bike and starting with my 5-minute warm-up. As soon as I can click in. There. And when you're doing this, you're in what Zwift calls erg mode. After the free ride or warm-up is finished, the game will be controlling my trainer to keep me, as long as I pedal, it'll keep me in the prescribed zone, the power level that I'm supposed to be doing. Right now I'm doing a cadence of 89, 90 per minute RPMs. And it gives me instructions about how to perform the test. It'll give prompts throughout. For a while it'll be fairly easy, and then toward the end I'll be going as hard as I can possibly go. All right, now the test begins. It'll be fairly easy now, and every minute we'll go up 20 watts, By the time I get to 200 watts, I'll be huffing and puffing. My first test was 199, and my second test was 201 for the FTP number. I have a feeling that that's fairly accurate. And I don't think that the 2-point difference indicated progress. It's probably just within the margin of error. But I also think a big part of this is being used to riding at a higher level. Since we spend most of our time in the endurance level in zone 2 and 1, we're not going out there with a plan to suffer, but the ability to withstand the suffering is important when you get to the higher reaches. Alright, I'm riding at my FTP now. In theory, I could hold this power for an hour, but that's just a theory. I'll need to save my breath. I'll talk to you when this is over. Alright, so my FTP went down 5 points. Those last minutes seemed to take hours. In the beginning, the minutes go by very quickly. The time compresses or stretches out, whichever it is, to make it seem like a long, long time. I could feel my cereal in my belly, reminding me that it's in there, even though I ate it about 3 hours ago. My ego was totally deflated. I questioned my value as a human being. Losing 5 points on your FTP test will do that to you, especially when you do it in front of an audience. But we'll get over that because we have to come back for episode number 4, where we'll set up my training zones. And I'm excited to be able to bring my cousin, who's a bona fide scientist and much smarter than I, who will be able to explain the more technical details of the whole process. So, hope to see you then. Bye for now.